Hashem avakesh Ashima Hashem koi liyakro Ayuchaneni vaneni Ayuchaneni Ayvaneni.
Hello everyone, this is the third in the segment of LeDavid, Conversation and Controversies. Until now we had two segments on conversation, and today it's time for controversy. Who didn't say LeDavid and why? And we start today with the Gra. The Gra did not say LeDavid. In the Ma'aseh, which documents everything the Gra did, Simon Nun Gimel, it says, within the context of davening in the morning, Acharei Aleinu Shir Shel Yom Kadishatom. One Kaddish for Aleinu and Shir Shel Yom. Ve'en omrim shum mizmor zulat Shir Shel Yom. And do not say any other chapter from Tehillim except for the Shir Shel Yom, the Psalm of the day. Ve'lo Shira Yichud. Shira Yichud is what some people say on Yom Kippur night after Kol Nidre. Some people say it every day. Ve'lo Shira Kavod, not Amnim Zmirot, Rak B'Yontif. And now comes the clincher. They Kam Rosh Chodesh Elu at Yom Kippurim. Ein Omrim Kapitel Kaf Zayin. From Rosh Chodesh Elul all the way through Yom Kippur, exactly what the Mata Ephraim, what the Mishnah Berurah said to do, said the Gra, don't do it. Davening ends in the morning with Aleinu and the Psalm of the day. No other Psalms. The question is why? Why was he so pedantic on this point? In the new edition of the Ma'aseh Rav, indeed has a perush called Kovitz Mefarshim around the Ma'aseh Rav. And I thank Rav Yehuda Balzim for bringing this to my attention. Indeed, there, in the Kovitz Mefarshim, he says that the Hanhagot HaMaharsha, the famous Maharsha that's printed in the back of most Gemaras, indeed agreed with this and said not to say anything after davening, including LeDavid. And the Aderet explains as follows. The Aderet, the famous father-in-law of Rav Kook, Rav Ta'omim, the Aderet wrote a perush called Tfilat David, comes along and says that the reason for the Maharsha and the Gra's practice is Mishum Tirchah Dציבורא Ukemo Shamu Bebrachot Yudbet Amud Bet. Reason number one is Tirchah Dציבורא. Tirchah Dציבורא is having people being bothered in shul. The famous case is on Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur in the Beis HaMikdash, the Kohen Gadol read from Parshat Acharei Mot, the Kriyat Torah that we call the first Sefer Torah, and then he read what we call the Maftir from Parshat Pinchas. But he didn't go ahead and actually read it from the Torah, because it would take time to roll the Torah, and therefore he would read it Ba'al Peh. And the Gemara explains in Masechet Yoma, Mishum Tirchah Dציבורא. Now, this does not mean that they're in shul for too long. We're talking about Yom Kippur. No one has anything better to do. There's still an avoda of the Kohen Gadol that they're watching as spectators, and therefore they're there anyway. But you do not do in shul what's not necessary. And therefore, it's Tirchah Dציבורא, according to the Aderet. And he brings the Gemara in Brachot as his proof. What does the Gemara in Brachot say? The Gemara in Brachot says that the Chachamim wanted to make Parshat Balak part of our davening every day. Bilam indeed wanted to curse the Jewish people. He came up with beautiful blessings. Why not say these beautiful blessings every day? Says the Gemara, Mishum Torach Tzibur. Once again, bothering people for too long in shul. That's reason number one. So, I think we can learn from this, whether we agree or not, with the conclusion, don't even say something that takes 2 minutes, that bothering people in shul for longer is a very important topic. The Gemara devoted an entire discussion of perhaps inserting Parshat Balak into our davening and said no for that reason. The Kohen Gadol and the Beis HaMikdash did not roll the Torah for that reason, and therefore we should be very, very careful with Tirchah Dציבורא in shul. Number two, says the Kovitz Mefarshim, bringing the Aderet from the Tfilah LeDavid, Mishum Bitul Melacha, and he quotes a Gemara in Megillah. The Gemara in Megillah says that on a regular day of the week, a Monday or a Thursday, you only have 3 aliyahs, and you do not add any. Ein pochatim mehem ven mosifin alehem. On Rosh Chodesh and on Chol HaMoed, you have to indicate to the people these days are holier. So we have 4 aliyahs, but once again, no osafot. But Shabbos, you can add aliyahs. Why? Says Rashi, based on the Gemara, Mishum Bitul Melacha. What does that mean? Shelo yaktseh latzibur. It shouldn't be hard for the congregation. Mipnei shehen yemei melacha. These are days of work. Shabbat mincha samuch lechashechahu. And even in Shabbos and Mincha, where there's no work, but we still only have 3 aliyahs, and we don't make lasafos, it's very close to the end of Shabbos. Shaharei kol hayoma, you regularly drosh. They were in shul for so long, you don't want them to be in shul for longer. So if the first reason is don't bother them for no reason while they're in shul, this second reason is don't detain them, don't delay them in shul for too long. Indeed, the Meiri explains this exactly like Rashi, and I quote his words, that because they're days of work, nimtza b'harachatam bitul melacha la'am. The longer you leave them in shul, the less time they'll have for work outside of shul. And therefore, Shabbos, where it's a day of absolute kedusha and tefillah and drasha, if you're going to leave them in shul even longer than that, yesh b'zeh torah gadol. Indeed, it's going to be tirchah dציבורא on Shabbos. So to make a long story very, very short, the Gra, according to the Aderet, was against saying this particular mizmor of LeDavid Hashem Ori because of 2 reasons. Number 1, tirchah dציבורא, namely bothering people in shul for longer while they're there. And number 2, keeping them in shul for longer. And I don't have to tell you that indeed, because we say usually Aleinu and a Kaddish, unlike the Gra, and then Shir Shel Yom and a Kaddish, unlike the Gra, and then we say En Kilokenu, which is the Minhag in Eretz Yisrael at least, and then you say LeDavid and add the shofar blowing. It does, A, leave them in shul for longer, and B, if you don't think it's necessary, bother them in shul for no reason. So that was the actual opposition of the Gra. And I just want to end by saying the Gra is very consistent on this point. He indeed says in other places that you should not add anything for no reason. And allow me to tell you the places, because we all do it, and the Gra didn't do it. Number 1, in Simon Reish Vav, he says before Tkiyat Shofar, many people have Alamanat Seyach and say Yehi Ratzon, says the Gra, and Omrim Shum Mizmor Kodem Tkiyat Shofar. You don't say that Mizmor 7 times. V'lo Yehi Ratzon mitpas b'machzorim, v'lo v'chen Yehi Ratzon b'kein seder l'seder. And he adds, you don't say Yud Gimel Midot when you take out the Torah. Once again, you see the Gra saying, nothing unnecessary in shul. Just do what Anchy Knesset Agdola told you. That's it. Number 2, Siman Samech Tet. Sfirat HaOmer. Ve'en omrim shum sukim lefanav ve'lo acharav. Except for the Yehi Ratzon Sheibana Beit HaMikdash, because that's a Tosfot. So Sfirat HaOmer is going to consist of the bracha, the count of the night, that's it. The Gra is very consistent, and he basically says like this: daven what the Anshei Knesset Agdola told you to daven. Daven the sitter. Do not add things because A, it will cause tirchah dציבורא, and B, it will cause bitul melacha on certain days of the week. Why he didn't say, well, say it on Shabbos? Because, very simply, even on Shabbos, there could be what we call bitul melacha, because people are in shul for a long davening for other reasons. And therefore, says the Gra, because of these 2 reasons, no LeDavid at all. As you could see, LeDavid is not void of controversy. The Gra was totally against it for halachic reasons.